Good day everyone, so let's do a quick 3-minute review on the latest Spiral Abyss. You'll notice immediately here on the first half that the enemies have been positioned slightly further back, so you have to go into them and then you start your ult cycle, which is very interesting. And then the enemies are spaced out very sequentially here on the first halves, which makes it a bit more tricky for you to just set up in one place and then cycle through your cooldowns. You kind of need a team that can move all over. Definitely the first halves are very bulky and tanky, so I assume a lot of people might actually waste a bit of time there. Here on the second halves you've got what is very typical of this Abyss, and that is stall impact. So a couple of enemies like the Primordial Bishop here have a wind up animation time. Now that can also be a good thing because during that time you can do a lot of setups and so on, but in terms of actual raw speed running and clearing the Abyss, that might not be too, it's not going to favor all of the teams. But regardless, it was pretty fun. Here is a flying Cucosaur. You can see I'm going to try and swirl exactly at the point before it goes up and tag it with Citroen's Bubble. Speaking of teams, I think a Mono Hydro team here with Farina, Citroen, Yelon and Shilonen for most people, especially at C0, might be really good. For me, I'm going to run the C6 variants because we can one-tap the Golden Wolf Lord a bit later. But yeah, you definitely need Farina's pets to take off that Pyro Shield and some additional help like Citroen's Bubble that can also bounce around the field and take care of the Pyro constructs. Very useful, like Citroen Synergy. She's a great matchup against that enemy. This enemy here, the Tenebris Papilla, is a pain. Once again, there's a bit of a wind up. You can't really damage it effectively. You don't crit like my Raiden does, and it's a bit of a pain. And then you get a chicken spawning in. I'm not sure whether the Dendro resistance still applies when it changes to chicken form. I'm not entirely sure, but it is a bit more difficult. It is a bit of a more tankier boss for you to go through. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why this video doesn't have an intro and an outro. It's because of these wind up times for all of these enemies. It's just, you can't just immediately put your damage onto the floor, so that is what it is. Alright, here is the Golden Wolf Lord, a bit of a pain, so this is why I recommend Shilonen for most people, but you can take him out before he goes into his little cyclone phase. Once again, the wind up animation where he takes little damage, the rock, the pillar phase, it's just very annoying. And then once again, the Aeon Blight Drake, or the Flying Dinosaur as I like to call it, also has wind up. You can see this is definitely wind up impact. I made a bit of a mistake here, should have used Shilonen earlier as well, get her cooldown faster because she can at C2 battery all the electro units, but hey, that is on me. Overall, a pretty fun Abyss. It's going to keep you a bit more busy than the previous ones, but I must say it's going to be a bit more frustrating, especially if you don't have good artifacts. Thanks for watching.